Hey, what's going on, everyone? Dan the Glassman here, and you are watching the Glassman's World. So today we are live on Twitch. Once again, we got our viewers over here, and we got you guys right here. So perfect. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I got the cameras pretty much like right here, so as long as I'm looking right there, I think I'm looking at both cameras. So I just had my quick morning session and getting ready to get started. We're about to make these right here. These are the beautiful flatback style, flatback series hot air balloons. I'm making a whole bunch of these for a friend of mine. He's going to be taking them out and uh, and he'll be selling them at El Pinto, I believe, and in Albuquerque, New Mexico during the Balloon Fiesta. So he will probably sell out as many as I can get to him. So we're going to start making that. And we're also going to be working on this here, which is a custom balloon. And I made this one once already, but it should only have two stripes going down when you're looking at it. And I twisted it up too much, so it's got three stripes on it. And the pilot actually loves it and didn't even say anything about that. But me, being a perfectionist, I already said the next one will be better because I have to try to make it better. My own personal self, I need to know that I can really replicate these. All right, so we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna make sure I have all of my tools ready to go. And I was thinking, probably just add on to this here. Or no, let's not. Let's just get rid of a lot of this glass here. Make some space. Oh, what are these? These are all twisties. Twist it up here. Oh, that's a nice ribbon cane right there. Alright. Let me put this in, put that away over there. I'm just making some room real quick. That way we can see what we have to work with. Because there's a lot of colored glass over here, little scraps and things that I may have to pull out. Like the salmon color. We may have to use that. Um, for one of these balloons that I have. And the other thing too is the reference that I have for the balloons are on my phone here on Twitch. So I may have to let you guys go in a little while so I can reference those photos. Let me put this all down here. Alright, we got a whole palette of colors here. I don't know if you can see that, but my table is full of stuff everywhere. Man. Hey, and also, I don't know if I informed you guys. Wow, I just found one chunk. I found a chunk. So I thought this was the last of the glow in the dark glass that I had, but it turns out I got that one too. I got that big old chunk right there. And so I've actually made glowing glass recently in the last few years, not realizing that they actually discontinued the glow in the dark glass. And I was just selling it like it was normal, like, oh, I'll be able to get more. And I didn't realize that I wasn't going to be able to. So now I have an issue. I don't know if I can ever sell glow in the dark glass ever again. Until I start making it, someone else creates glow in the dark glass. Another glass alchemist. I'm not a glass alchemist. I don't mix the different, all the different things, You guys see that? Oh, spinning top. You guys don't see it over here. Hold on. Let me show you. Alright, so Alright, enough playing around here. I don't know what's going on with this. That's dumb. I should just shut it off. No internet. That's dumb. This is all. This got internet. That's got internet. This one got internet. I don't know why it doesn't have internet. How would you not have internet? Maybe I just need to restart it or something, huh? Here, let's try to do that. Might as well. Alright, we'll just restart the system and we'll get started here. Alright, so if you're a glass blower, I highly recommend getting yourself one of these Norwex optic cloths. These things are really, really awesome in removing your fingerprints. And also get yourself a body cloth. That way you can get rid of all of your oils off your hands first before you blow glass. You know, and I know some people, they have issues with like sweaty hands and stuff, and then all that stuff gets on your glass. So if you get yourself a body cloth, then you have nice clean hands. There's been wiped away of 99.9% bacteria. And then you use an optic cloth, and the Norwex optic cloth gets rid of any dirt, dust, debris better than any microfiber cloth that's out there. And this isn't, I don't know if this is a microfiber cloth. It feels like a silk tie to me. Like, this thing is nice. I'd wear this as a Oscar. Hello. Just kidding. Maybe like Freddie Prinze Jr. from Scooby-Doo. You know, I went to high school with that kid. Him and I, we used to get in trouble in class. And then the teacher would always send me away. And I didn't know why. I didn't know his father. I didn't know who his father was or who he was, you know, in high school. I just treated him as just like as a peer, just my friend in high school, and we would just talk all the time, and we'd get in trouble for talking all the time in class, and laughing, cracking jokes. So Freddie, if you're ever watching my videos, what's up, man? How you been? Glad to see you made it big out there in the world. I'm still out here, making it little time big over here. I actually have global recognition, which is really cool. But I am definitely not a celebrity. I'm definitely not famous like Freddie Prinze Jr. And I've never been in Teen Pop magazine. Sorry. I gotta always talk about that because that's funny. Teen Pop. I'm glad I was never in Teen Pop magazine. Alright, so is this on here? Check one, check. Testing, 1, 2. I don't know. I think it's picking me up, but you know, I didn't check to see like is there a way when you're live on here, you don't have access, manage something, pop out dashboard? We might need a pop out dashboard. I just want to see if the microphone is connected to the mic or if it's still disconnected to that, because then I'm talking over the fan and talking over the torch still. No, I can't even see what. Okay. I had to move it. Like, I couldn't see under my phone over here. Alright. Oh. Got Unknown 77 follows. Thank you. Thank you for following. All right, we got 2 views here. Another morning glass blowing session. Oh, that's cool. So it already shows I have 2 people coming in. But is there a way to add stream marker? I could share it, and then menu. Switch account, select stream. Or you can change up the stream. No, I don't want to do any of that. Yeah, I guess I don't have any sort of option to make the microphone work or any louder. Because I don't think this is working. If this is working, that would totally be going on. So now I know I have to project my voice out there, and I got to speak louder. So I'll try to be loud enough for you guys to hear me. Also, we're going to need to move these out of the way. But one of these I need to work on a little bit. I realized I didn't melt the punchy down all the way. What is that? Didn't melt the punchy down all the way. Did you see that little blemish? Right in the center there? I don't know. You probably can't. So I need to actually go in and reheat that. I can drop that into the kiln. So let's make one real quick, and then I'll do that. So, I figure I'd probably make like a dozen of each color for my friend here, and I've got 4. So if I work on 4 a day, in 3 days I'll have a dozen. I need to make a lot more than that. I really need to bust these out quick. We only got 2 weeks, so today's the last day of the state fair. We went back to the fair yesterday for the Indian powwow over at the Indian Village, the state fair powwow, and we had a lot of fun. That was really, really awesome. Oh, I'm using the blue that I want to use. Here, just go with a little bit deeper of a blue, and we'll just see what this one looks like. Actually, I want to go with the lighter blue. But how light? That light? How light? Is the same? They're the same. Alright. So this is like a cobalt 2. So that means we got it's a lighter shade of cobalt. More translucent. The darker the cobalt, the more opaque it gets. It gets more saturated in color. That's the best way that I can describe it. Alright, so we just add a little bit of color like that. See? Just a little line. And then get ourselves a punchy, some sort of glass. This is a scrap piece of glass here. I see we've had 3 views come in now on YouTube, but not a single individual stuck around. So now we're going to work on spiraling the color here. So I'm going to melt it down, and then it'll get, once it's all nice and molten, it'll be hot enough where I can grab a hold of it with the little scrap glass here. And I can spin it and twist it up while it's molten. So I just grab it, I hold one hand straight, and I don't know how much of a spiral I want to give these. I kind of like them when they were spiraled a little bit more. Alright, so then you just snap that off, and you have to melt this back down. It's all one color, one spiral. I can do two colors and have two colors spiraling into each other, or three colors or whatever. So I see we got a couple viewers here on Twitch. How you guys doing? You're welcome to comment. You're welcome to ask questions. I'm working on hot air balloons right now. I know some of you guys are lurking while you're working. I do that a lot too. I'll be blowing glass while I'm watching other glass blowers. Especially Msg Glass. I haven't watched him in a while. Like I said, I left Twitch about a year ago, and I kind of just like, I don't know, just stepped away. I even stopped watching others. Just started doing work and doing other things and stuff. But I figured, you know, like Msg always said, if you're going to blow glass, you might as well just press that record button, right? Just hang out. Since we're in our dungeons alone anyways, might as well, right? Might as well just blow glass and have others hang out and watch. They can see what you're up to. And you can just ramble on all day, talking to yourself, until people comment. But I'm pretty good at talking and doing live demonstrations. I've been doing live demos since probably 1997. So, you know, what is that? Over 20 years, right? 25 years of doing live talking and blowing glass, and, you know, being able to like look away from the torch while I'm still able to like hold it in the torch, and I can talk to you guys and stuff, you know. Alright, so now I got that all melted down. I got all the colors melted. They're not like lifted up and spiraled. Now no wrinkles or anything. So now we're going to flatten this onto the table here. You want to try to get that spiral as centered as possible. But sometimes when it's a little off-centered, a little bit high or low, then it makes the balloon look really cool too. Alright, so then we take this to the paddle, or the pad here on the table. You just flatten it down. Make sure that it's 90-degree angle there. You kind of just make like a nail, basically like a big old glass nail. See? And then, these are like the ends of a big old knitting needle, too. I'm just like knitting away over here. That'd be funny. Just have someone with these big old knitting needles, all. Some grandma. I should give some grandma these, like a big old pair of knitting needles and see all. Here, let's see what you can do with these. That'd be funny. Alright, so now I have to punchy it up again. We're going to get this, which is actually, should be clean, and I won't know if it's clean or not until I put it in the flame. And if it's clean, then I can see it's clean, and if it's got anything on the end, then it'll be brighter, it'll show itself, it'll reveal itself to me. And that's clean, so now I can just attach that right there in the center. And I didn't like that attachment, so we're going to redo that. Híjole. Yeah. Really? Well, I didn't like that, and now it's not coming off. That shouldn't be that hot, really. Okay. Now I'm gonna have to clean that up some. That's all right. It's all part of the job. Now the trick is not messing up any of that pattern that's underneath there. Get rid of those little chunk of glass. Doesn't need to be there. All right. I just had to remove some of the blemish when it broke off. It's okay. I can always melt that down. So let's punty that up better and more centered. That was a horrible job there. All right. That's the better. So then you want your punchy nice and centered like that so you can spin it. Then we're going to cut it off. We're going to flame cut it. We're going to use the heat here to melt the rod away from that flattened piece on the tip there. Oh, what's up? Matt John once again. How you doing today, brother? Rad 505 Art. Fire. Did you ever make it out to the state fair? We just went again last night or yesterday. Went to the Indian Village powwow and just spent the whole time there. We were hoping to take our son to the last year they had this really cool play area and we couldn't find it this year. I think they got rid of it and instead they installed this big old candy corner. They could sell a whole bunch of candy by the pound. Like, I don't know what it was, $16 a pound for candy. Like, holy, you're buying candy by the pound. Wow, bucket of diabetes. The diabetes. Nah, I don't know if that actually occurs. If you eat too much sugar, you get diabetes, but eating too much sugar definitely could cause cancer and all kinds of other health issues and things. Making your body more acidic and more alkaline makes you less healthy. All right. So we are now pulling that off there. So that's a flame cut. We're going to melt it all down, and then this whole front area will be rounded out. So then it'll have that disc on the front, but then flat on the back. So then I just heat up this front here, get this all nice and melted. And this is borosilicate glass, so it takes a lot of heat to finally get molten. A lot of heat. You see, I'm just constantly keeping it on there, and it's not fully flat yet. You can see it's still got that disc on the top there, or I mean, not a disc, like I don't know, kind of like a bump, or like almost like a nipple, or whatever. You know, it's sticking out there. You got to round it all down so it becomes nice and smooth like a lens. You know, like a magnifying glass kind of. You want it nice and rounded. And if I had a marble marber, this could maybe be a little quicker, but then sometimes when you use those, you get the marks in your glass and you got to spend time to melt it anyways. So I like to just take my time, use the gravity, and then you just get that nice and smooth. You see, so it's got a nice disc on that front, and then it's flat on the back. And that's what I'm going for right there. Alright, so now we need to add I gotta look at the blue here. Whoa. There is no blue in there. It's like barely. We won't be using that blue. So now I wonder. That's not going to work for me. I'm not going to sell that. Don't like it. It's too light. You can't even see the color. So now what we're going to do, we're not going to waste it. Going to put it back on here. Just like that. And snap off that punchy. While this one's molten. Tricky, tricky. I want to snap it off that one too. Alright, now we're going to just add something to it. Like, I don't know. We could fume it. Maybe that would bring out that blue. Although, do I have any silver on there ready to go? I'd have to take out a chunk of silver. And do I have my clipper here to take it? No. Okay, we're not doing silver right now then. We're just gonna we're just gonna what? What are we just gonna do? Huh. We're just going to follow that spiral out with a darker blue here. Like that. And then I want this blue glass pulled, so I'm going to actually, we're going to pull a stringer real quick. Or you know what? We'll keep it like that. I can make a few more before we move on. Alright, now I'm just going to melt this all down. So see what I did? I had it a darker blue right there, and we just hid that light blue mistake, or it's not really a mistake. It was so light you couldn't even tell it was there. So. Alright, so we just did a hand-drawn spiral instead of spinning the glass up like we normally do. Now the only issue is we're going to have to try to keep this nice and flat. Alright, so now that that's all nice and flat molten, we'll make sure it's flat by using the paddle here. Give it a nice flat back, nice and smooth. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So then you got that spiral there. Then we do the same thing. Punch it up and then take it off. We're going to do what we were supposed to do. Add the bottom with the gondola, add the loop, and call it a day. We do the same thing. Just punch it up. We're going to take it off right here, and since it's thinner right here already, it shouldn't be too much work. We take that off, and then we got to peel off all that rest. See, it's basically like a nipple or like a big old bump on there, a knob, like a hobnob. There's a technique where we add a bunch of dots on things like that. It's called hobnobbing. Peel that off, make sure you get all that glass so then the surface is clean. And then we round it down, get rid of that little bump right there. Little tiny bump. So what I did is I kind of pulled it down a little bit. And then we just add the loop on top. I'm just going to find the clear glass there. Now I'm cleaning up the punching mark on the back after I popped it off. And that's what I got to do with the one that's on the table. I didn't clean it up enough, so I got to really make sure I get that right. That was pretty good. Thinking about trying to pull it a little bit, but I kind of like that. Looks good. I'm gonna leave it and mess with it. All right, now I just punch up the bottom, and we gotta create the loop real quick. Pull it forward, making sure it's straight. And then I just clean up the loop, make sure the loop is nice and strong. Because the loop is the most fragile part of the whole entire pendant. If you don't have a strong loop and it breaks, and it can't be worn as a necklace, or it can't be hung or whatever. So you really want to make sure that the loops are nice and strong. And I'm wondering if I could actually make the loop more on the back side and how that would work. Instead of having it sticking all the way up like that, I'm going to try a different style here. Let's see. Let's see if I can get that to be just almost not even seen. But it might mess up the pattern on the back. And that'll be the trade-off, I guess. Alright, well there you go. That's the finished one right there. You can see all the colors. Sorry, I'm like trying to do it for both screens here. Alright, let's drop that in the kiln. Kiln's up to 880 and timing. Alright, let's make another one with the darker cobalt and a regular spiral, not a hand-drawn spiral. So Balloon Fiesta will be coming up here in 2 weeks. Today is the last day of the state fair, so that gives us a 2-week warning to get prepared, get ready. Because then basically I think 2 weekends, or maybe the third weekend from now, I think it's like 2 weeks, then that following weekend, we go right into Balloon Fiesta. And the first day is going to be a beautiful eclipse. I do believe this is going to be the first eclipse in history during the Balloon Fiesta on opening day. And probably during the Balloon Fiesta here in Albuquerque. I don't think we've ever had an eclipse. This is going to be amazing. The photographers are going to be out like, oh my gosh, this is a sight to see. Every photographer should be out trying to get as many photos as possible with the eclipse. Because I guess when the sun is coming up at 6 a.m., it's going to be coming over to San Diego. And that's going to make for beautiful photos as long as there's no cloud cover. And balloons aren't supposed to go up above the clouds during Balloon Fiesta here, so we won't be able to clear out and do that, I don't think. I don't think it's allowed, like federal law or Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta rules and regulations. I think we have to keep the balloons under the clouds if the clouds start rolling in. Because then you can't see each other. You know, it's just really dangerous at that point. And also, there was one year when they did the flyover with the jet, and they flew over during the opening ceremony, and it was very cloudy and a really thick fog, and we were staying low. The airplanes were flying above the clouds, and they couldn't see us, and we couldn't see them. And then our pilot, I was up in the balloon that day, and our pilot told me, well, hopefully all of our equipment is calibrated correctly, and that theirs are as well. And I was like, oh my gosh, right? Like there's two separate systems. Like, yeah, if yours are calibrated correctly, you're getting the right altimeter, you know, the elevation and the wind speed, you're getting all of that right, then you're good. But what about theirs? Like, you don't know. Like, oh my gosh, that's right. It doesn't always depend on you, you know. to stay safe, there's always other elements out there. So yeah, that was kind of crazy to hear that. Like, wow, okay, that's very eye opening for me. All right, so we're gonna melt this down here once again. We're gonna flatten it, and we're gonna try a different sort of loop on here. But then I don't know how comfortable and how it's gonna hang. That's the only thing. So let's see what I can do here. Almost getting there, getting rid of all the wrinkles and everything. When you spin the glass around, you get a lot of these, like the twist, like if you make a snow cone from one of those soft serve ice cream machines, you twist it up, you get those like ridges in there. So you want to melt down all those ridges before you do any flattening and shaping and things like that. And then the trick is melting not only where the spirals are, but getting a little bit of that clear glass, because you want your clear glass to actually be in the front. You want everything else to kind of lay back on the back side. Lay back on the back side. Alright, so now we're going to flatten it down. And then we got to punch it up and then take it off. Clean up the punchy. I thought I heard doors opening, so I don't know if my family's awake now. If so, then I may have to let y'all go, or I may just have to like get up for a minute and start getting some oatmeal made or get something going. And then I can come back here real quick, maybe make another one real fast. Alright, so now we're going to do the flame cut once again. My arm is getting sore here, starting to go numb. My right arm has an issue, so sometimes, also I need to do that. I need to make sure I'm holding my arm down. I do this, and it locks things up. I really need to make sure I'm keeping my arm down as well. Alright. I got issues with my shoulder. I gotta make sure I don't hunch up. But it starts to, my arm starts to go numb. My whole fingers go numb, and then it's not good. And I can't really feel what I'm doing, and it gets dangerous at that point. Alright, we'll get rid of that there. And then we're back to the little UFO shape. Oh, we've almost gone for a whole hour already over here, huh? We're into hour and a half over here on Twitch. And usually what's interesting is on Twitch TV, people don't come in till about that 2 hour mark. Kind of interesting if you going live for a while, and then, you know, what it is that people are already engaged in other channels, so they don't even know you're on, or they haven't got your notification. And then they, you know, they'll stop watching someone, or they'll go check out some other channels after a while. So yeah, on that second hour, usually you get new people coming in and stuff. So Balloon Fiesta, what I do during Balloon Fiesta is I'm a crew member for Polar Dawn Balloon. We fly during dawn patrol, and what that means is that we go up in the air at dawn, early in the morning, which we're going to be flying during the dawn eclipse. We will probably be featured in many, many photos this year. The Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta 2023 during the eclipse is probably going to be the most photographed event of 2023. I could probably make a video on that. and make a prediction. Alright, so now we got that all nicely lensed, nice and flat on the back, round on the front. Nice spiral looking into the front there. Okay. Okay, and then I get this, I believe it's a butterscotch here. We get the butterscotch and we'll add this to the bottom of the gondola. Right, and then we add that little bit of that clear glass with the gondola. Now on this one, I'm probably going to stretch from the top. I'm going to do my best, like I said, to just bring this loop all the way from the back side. Okay. Let me just clean up the punchy mark as always. Make sure that's nice and smooth. That's got a really cool spiral in the center. It goes almost all the way into a circle. That's really cool. Like that. Alright, now in order to pull it, like I was saying, I'm going to heat up this whole bottom portion here. Then we're going to use that same punchy. We're just going to give it a nice little pull. So we heat up more of the thicker part here, so we don't pull the thin part where the gondola is. Right, we pull that down. There we go. That's better. See, I like that shaping better. But see, they're all one of a kind. They're all handmade. So some people might like them one way. I might like them one way, and some people might like them a whole entire different way. So I never know. And that's why I just try to make different varieties, different styles. You know, they're all a little bit different, but they're all the same. They're all glass balloons right there. And look at that. Let me try to. Alright, so now let's get this loop on the back side of it. I just don't know if I'm going to like how it lays on the back side of it. But you won't know until you try, right? Okay, so what I did is I pulled it onto the back side of it. So it's almost not too noticeable on top. That actually might work out so much better. It's just not flat now on the back entirely. That loop will dig into your chest. So let me see if I can make it a little bit more comfortable. I just need to make sure I have enough room for the cord that I'll be using. This is a 2mm wax leather cord. But if someone wanted to put like a really nice silver loop on here, yeah, see, it takes away from the pattern. That's what I don't like about it. See? And it's back there, and you can see it coming through, and it messes the pattern. I don't like that. I mean, it still looks nice, but it's not what I'm going for. But it looks good. I mean, it looks good. You know, eye of the beholder. I got to remember, I don't make these for myself. I make these for other individuals. Someone's going to love that one. And that's what I have to always remember about glassblowing is that I didn't learn this so I can make stuff for myself. I learned this so I can make stuff for others and just make stuff for the sake of artwork. That's all. Just to be an artist. Alright, let's drop this one in the kiln. Alright, let's see where we're at. We're at about 960 on the kiln. Alright, let's finish this one up. So this one here, oh, this one's not hot. I can touch it. So this one just has a little blemish on the back side, and I didn't like it, so I'm going to redo it. But I have to flash it in the flame, or else it will, it can crack. So I do this so it can slowly gather the heat into it, and then eventually I'll be able to see that the flame will start changing a different color. When I'm looking at it through this, it'll look way different. I can see the glass start to glow, and I can see, oh, okay, it's starting to take that heat in, which means I can really much start to slow down, get it in the flame, and then bam, it won't crack. Cool. You know, that actually has air bubbles behind it. Let me see. Can you feel them? Is that why? Huh. That's got punchy mark on there. And me, not liking that, I'm going to have to try to remove it. I'm a perfectionist. That's just the way it is. And that's probably why I want best of show. Now I gotta see, okay, how can I get that off? I gotta go in with another piece of glass, with another point of a piece of glass. And I gotta go in there and heat heat it up and pull it like a fine needle is just going in. Alright. We get rid of it. A little bit at a time. Alright, that's better. Still not as best as I want it to be. There's like two little tiny air bubbles, but I can't seem to grab them. And I don't want to mess up the spiral. But maybe someone's going to want it because of that air bubble. It's always something like that. Like, oh no, I really loved it because of that. Okay. Woo, it's getting hot in there. It's like 10, over 1,000 degrees now. My arm hair is just burnt. Yeah, we're at a, like right under 980, like 975. Okay. Let's see if I can remember how these colors are. Two different blues. We have a peacock. With the darker red. I might have to let y'all go on Twitch so I can see. But I really don't remember. Let me check and see if I can open up a Facebook page here. Oh, no, then that'll make me leave the site. Oh, and I can't get in here. Maybe. Let's see. Did that work? Okay, well, let's see if that works. Let me just look at this real close. You might be able to tell. We've got the blue. I can't tell what colors they use. I'm like, there's definitely one of these colors with the red. And then the green and the other red. But then there's one cobalt. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at it because I can't tell. I think there's cobalt. Alright, if I'm going to make this, let's see if this works. And I don't even know if I have my Facebook account set up on here or not. So we'll find out. Oh my gosh, our clock is behind. I'm not dealing with that. It does that every time. Like, why does it keep resetting to January 1st on, what is it, like, I don't even know. January 1st of 2011 or something weird like that. Okay, well, I think I'm going to have to let everyone at Twitch go unless I can access my camera here. I don't know what would happen though. I don't think I have access. Right? Yeah, I don't think I can. I think I have to let y'all go. Alright, well, if you want to come on over to the Glassman's World at YouTube, please do. I'm going to let y'all go to it. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. You guys have a good one. Alright, guys. Let me grab my phone real quick. That way, I can really see this now. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it was. Okay, here, let me show you what we're doing. So that's why I had to take a look at it. I don't remember the color pattern. Alright, so here we go. Let's work on this one here. This has got like a kind of light blue, and then the cobalt. Oh yeah, we gotta pull some cobalt first. I gotta get the cobalt ready. Okay, so we got this one the cobalt. And then garnet. And that's the green. And then this crazy color in between the red. There we go. Just gonna line them up where they're supposed to be. And the cobalt goes in between those ones. Okay. Cool. Game on. Now all we do is not spin it as much. Right now I'm just getting the cobalt ready so I can stretch it here. Okay. And put the cobalt right in between there. No? The reds need to switch up. Okay. Wait. Okay. Oh wait, no, I did have it right. Okay, here we go. I don't even know what the name of this one's called. It's a local balloon. Hey, good morning. I don't have it. Could be out there. Well, let me go help you real quick since I'm just barely outside. Alright, give me a sec, guys. I'll be right back. It is. Alright. Okay, let's get started. Alright, let's get the timer going at 1:23. Too much. Alright, that's probably good there. What's going on? Oh, running over my phone cord. All right. All right, so I just need to melt this tip down here. We'll get it all around it. And I can start adding those colors. And if I don't spin it too much, they should stay thick. All right, so we'll leave it like that there. And we just start going down the line with the colors. I'm going to move these other colors here. I don't need all this stuff in the way here. I need that green. Okay. Start with the green. Just go down the line. The green, and then the maroon that I created for this balloon. Which is, I don't know if it's really a maroon. It's more purple. Right, here we go. Green. And then the crayon red. We gotta line those up right next to each other as best as possible. The oh, where's my tweezers? Okay, now we do the next three colors here. Start with the white. Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, what did I do here? Oh, I put this green in the wrong place. I threw myself off right there. Okay, that's what's going on. Let me flip this directly to the opposite side here. Make sure we keep this nice and warm so nothing cracks. Go right to the other side. And then the red, which is actually a dark garnet. We gotta heat up all of it again. Get it all nice and warm so we don't get any sort of cracks or anything. Make sure we got all the colors nice and lined up here. Alright, so now we've got the bands of color on there, and then we just color in the rest with canary yellow here. And then that'll give it the balloon look. The unique balloon look here. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to line up the bottom where all the lines have led down to. That way I don't have too much overlapping on one side or another. Alright, so now you can see there's only this one side right there that's all clear. Everything else has been colored in. That's all color now. And color lines. So you can see just how long, some of these really take compared to the other ones that I was just working on. Those ones are my production style ones that, they don't take too much time and energy or thought. They take thought, of course, but they're definitely not anywhere near replicating the balloons like this is here. This is a whole different level of glass blowing here. This is very precise, intricate work. And lining up the colors and the patterns. And, the one thing is that I've learned, there's individuals out there who sell their balloons for like $50 and $60 for the pendant. And I'm thinking that I'm going to have to start bringing my prices up to there. I used to have them very affordable at like $20 and up. I figured, yeah, well, if I make them in an hour or whatever. But, with the new recognition of having one best of show, being a recognized artist here in the community, that changes things a little bit. And it gives me the outlet to be able to ask a little bit more for extremely high quality work. And if others are just making generic hot air balloons that aren't even replicas for $60, then mine should probably be about $100. But maybe what I should do is just offer them at $60. So it's like, well, do you want a generic balloon or would you like a custom balloon? And the thing is I may also be able to get away with doing them for only $40. Starting them at 30 to 40, maybe $30 to $60. All right. I'm going to terminate the colors up top. And what that means is we're going to just basically pull them all together into one point. And that'll just help tighten up the pattern on top. I have no idea what the top of their balloon is, which is called the crown. And every balloon has a different crown. Some could be a solid color. Ours has polar bears on top, so they're all designed differently, and I really don't know what their crown looks like. I could have asked for a photo, but I think they'll be happy with what it looks like. So now we're just going to melt this all down. So all the colors are nice and smooth, all one piece of glass once again. So this takes a little bit of time here. So this is a lot of patience here. I'm just waiting for the glass to melt down. Want it all nice and smooth. So just, if you're going to be blowing glass and things, you really want to be patient with your glass. Get it all back to one piece. Alright, so now we're at the point where it's nice and molten. It's all rounded up. I'm going to clean up my punchy real quick. Don't want to lose the shaping on this. You want a nice, clean punchy always. Okay, let's see if I can twist this with only getting 2 spirals to be seen on each side. A little bit more on top. I think we got it here. I think that's it. Alright, so now that we got the spiral there, I don't know if you can really see. What I try to do is get the 2 lines of color on it. Now I got to melt it all down, make it round again. And then we have to balloon it out. And what that means is you got to add some clear glass on the outside of it to make ripples. And then it looks like a balloon, like the way the balloon looks. I think they're going to be really impressed with this one. The first one came out good. I'm not going to lie. It was just a little bit too twisty. That's all. This one should be right on point. And then I'll be able to do a time comparison on how long this one took compared to the other ones. Because the first one, you know, I had to actually mix colors and do all this stuff. Now that the colors are mixed, I know which colors I'm using, which color patterns. Now it's as simple as just grabbing the rod, adding the colors to it, and then just replicating it as best as I can. And then being that it's got crayon colors in it, you want to do a little bit softer of a flame so you don't boil and fester those colors and actually get them to where they're all bubbled up. Then it doesn't look good. And then you get like, it looks all white because of the bubbles, you know, like the way the ocean looks when you get that sea foam. You don't want to turn the glass all sea foamy like that. You get rid of all that beautiful blue or whatever color. Alright, so we're now almost at the point where we're rounding it up, turning it back into almost like a marble on the tip of the rod here. And this rod's a 16 millimeter rod, so it's basically like a 1/2 inch rod. Alright, we're getting close to the ballooning. So close. Alright, now we need to find the clear glass rod. Always hidden in here. There's a new one. Alright, now we're going to balloon it out. So now you see it's all rounded. It's got the patterns in there. So that's how you do all the color, all the pattern. Now we got to balloon it. And this is what I mean by ballooning it. Okay. Then I had 8 lines going all the way around it, just like that. And that's what I mean by ballooning it out. And then we got to melt all that in, and none of it cracks. You got to turn this into all one piece of glass, but you don't want to sink it all the way in. You want to make sure if you do leave it to where you can fill it, it's all three-dimensional or like a relief, you know, you can fill it. You want to feel that texture in here. Oh, I see one. And then I'll heat up this top right here. Get that all nice and rounded. And then I got to hit the middle of it here and get all those lines nice and sunk in. And then heat that up. We're going to kind of mash it down into itself. To give it that rounded balloon shape a little bit more. There we go. So now it's all like way bulbed out. See that? Oh. Alright, so now I'll add the loop on top. Melt that in right there. And then bring it back. Turn that all into one real quick. We'll work on this loop here. Make sure it's all one, all connected. All right, and then that loop is done. Nice and strong. I'm gonna add the, then we finish it up. Do the whole bottom of it. Everything. Everything. Make sure that the punchy is all clean, as always. So every time the punchy gets a little bit shorter and a little shorter. Alright, so now I gotta clean it up. We're just gonna pull it from the bottom, take it off with the loop here, and add the skirting, which is forget what color. Oh, it's that darker, not the peacock, but the darker peacock. Like less of a teal, more dark or something. I don't know. Two different colors, almost exactly the same, but a little bit different in saturation. Alright, now we take it off of the rod there. So you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. Now, all the colors on top there. And that bright area on the bottom is all clear glass. You see that? See how it's clear? You got to get rid of all that clear glass. Alright, and then we use the darker for the skirting. So the skirting is like right at the very bottom of the envelope of it, or the balloon, and that attaches to the whole entire the basket with the carabiners and the cables and everything. And I just melt that in so it all becomes one, just like that. And now you got all the color, and you got that scoop on there. So now we add a little bit of clear glass right in between that to create that that empty effect of like where all the carabiners are. You don't really see that. It just looks like a little balloon, or sorry, a little basket just dangling off, or just floating right below it. It always gives that empty space in between a little bit of extra work. It makes it a little bit more real. And not too many people do that when they make their own hot air balloons. There's a lot of different glass artists that'll just make some colors, make the balloon shape, put a little color on the bottom for the basket. Or they'll make the basket way too big compared to what the balloon is, and it doesn't look real and authentic. There you go. A little clear right in between where that basket is. See that? And then I'm just gonna kind of shape that a little bit better. Two lines. That's what I was going for. There's three, but they go up to the top, and then it goes back into two. That's what I was going for. See the difference? This one's a lot tighter of a spiral than that one. This one's more authentic. This one looks orange though right now because it's still hot. But it's yellow, trust me. Alright, we're gonna take it off, we're gonna put it into the kiln now. This part's always nerve-wracking because it can slip out the tweezers at any point, fall down, hit the table, fall on the floor, fall on my lap. All kinds of stuff can go wrong at this point. Alright, we gotta get over here to the kiln. Ooh, and that's definitely at the right temperature. It's at 1060, but I opened it up, so it pulled it down, so it's probably at 1080, which means that I could probably shut down the kiln here, and I can go and join my family for breakfast and things like that. All right. Well, I don't know how long that took. Maybe 30 minutes, and the first one was like an hour. I don't really remember. But thank you so much for watching me replicate this balloon here and getting that twist a lot better. We'll see if they want to purchase them both or all of them. I'll try to make more because I'm sure once the pilot's wearing one, the crew member is going to be like, oh, I want one too. So as soon as one is acquired, usually got to make a dozen more. So we'll try to get to work on those soon. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Dan the Glassman, and you've been watching the Glassman's World. You guys have a beautiful day. Love and blessings. We'll see you guys soon.